Previously on Tony's Avios Challenge. Let's talk about then the grand total. How many points did I rack up? 87,833 Avios points, which takes my household total to 706,064 Avios points. Welcome to the latest thrilling installment of my Avios Challenge, Tony's Avios Challenge, where me, Tony, try to see how many Avios points I can amass over the course of a year. This is month 4. You previously saw a brief recap on month 2, where I just nabbed over 87,000 Avios points, which wasn't too bad. But as I've eased myself into this challenge, as a reminder, I'm not trying to necessarily get a ton of points through, for example, boosting things by buying Avios points. It is all trying to be organic as it can be spent. So this has predominantly been obviously British Airways holidays and that kind of stuff, but also I've been fine tuning my spending with the Avios both in shop and online. And I have to say, the last 2 months, at the 4 months check in, things are getting serious. That's right. That's right. We're upping the ante. We're upping the Antony, if you will. And I have whooshed ahead with the Avios total amount. And it is quite exciting. So let's just have a brief rundown on some of the highlights and lowlights of the last couple of months. And we can see how many Avios points I now have. This is as of Sunday, the 8th of June. So this is exactly 2 months in because the British Airways Amex card transfers your Avios points say once a month. And for me, it's the 8th. So all good. Anyway, let's crack on. For anyone who watched the 2 month check in, the 2 month report, you will know that one of the huge frustrations with this system is the online shopping. It's taken me quite a while to get to grips with it, and it is so finicky. As a quick reminder, there was so many of my transactions that were being tracked from the website, but not actually ever turning up. So I bought some headphones and a few other odds and sods through the portal, through the Avios portal, and it registered. It said we tracked your purchase, but nothing ever came through. And I really am struggling to understand why. I think it could do with various things, like it might be the VPN, it could be the Wi-Fi, or whether you're on a mobile or laptop like this. So basically, I found it only really works when I'm at home, either on my own Wi-Fi or on a mobile network, and I do it through the phone. It doesn't work on the computer, hasn't worked. But I think so. Basically, I found the sweet spot. I think it's that. I think I've made sure I've tried to accept all the cookies, and it is working. It's almost working. There are a few frustrations in there which haven't quite gone through still, but I'm saying about 90% of the purchases are going through, which is good. So the two websites that I've really struggled with was Viator. So I do a lot of my day trips through Viator. They had a massive offer on, I think it was 12 Avios points per pound spent. I've not been able to register any of them. Well, one of them finally did get registered. This was for one of our trips in Atlanta. Yay! It got registered at nice, healthy 2,500 Avios points. It was for the booking. However, I got an email saying that, oh, mush, sorry, the trip's been cancelled. Well, that hadn't been cancelled, so we're not going to give you your Avios points. That was annoying. Jessup's also tracked my purchase of a gimbal, if you know what a gimbal is. That didn't go through either. So a couple of those sort of glitches, but on the whole, I think I've got it nailed down in terms of the online shopping. And here is a selection of the online purchase I've successfully made. I've not gone in all guns blazing on this. As you can see, there's quite a modest number of points, but it still is a work in progress. But I'm pretty hopeful it's nearly there. Oh, and actually, another thing that was a little GM is don't be afraid to cancel your booking. So hotels.com had a 5 times Avios offer for bookings, and what I did is I did that, booked it, got a couple of thousand Avios points pending. Then Avios Hotels came out with a 15 points booster. So it's 15 Avios points per pound spent. So boom, cancelled the hotels.com one and rebooked with Avios. And that's, I think, nearly 5,000. So job's a good one. So over the last 2 months, I've got 2,566 Avios points for my online shopping. In-person shopping or in-store shopping has been okay. I got a couple of coffees from Paul and a couple of lunches. The one thing I will say is that some of these things take quite a long time to go through. I went out for a lunch and took a friend, my friend Paul, out, and we had dinner. And I paid for that because I'm a nice guy. Obviously, I'm sure she'll attest to that. The that was on the, I think, the 15th of May, and I'm still waiting. They're sat there pending. I'm still waiting for them to come through. There is not a huge amount of stuff, certainly where I live or around London. But what I did find is up in Spitalfields Market, there are a couple of bars and restaurants that do take the card and have 10 times the points. So yeah, keep an eye out for them. But again, it's quite a useful little booster, but nothing amazingly huge because yeah, there's not the biggest selection of in-store options available. But it's better than a kick in the teeth. You may also recall that I was fairly vocal in my support for Avios Thoughts, which was the online survey platform of Avios where they give you Avios points for completing surveys. I did point out that it was pretty dull and pretty repetitive, but I found actually if I'd broken it down, if I did imagine 80 points a day on average, that's like would have been something like nearly 30,000 points over the course of the year. That's pretty good going. However, I'm not sure if anyone else has experienced this, but the last 3 weeks I've just got no surveys. It just constantly says no surveys available, and my total on that was just over 10,000 Avios points I'd have amassed within the Avios for Thoughts program. But that's it. It just seems to be completely stuck. Nothing whatsoever. So I don't know if it's the system that's down or whether they've said, sorry, mate, I think you've fleeced us for enough unnecessary Avios points. There is an alternative one, which is Nectar Canvas. So that is obviously Sainsbury's Nectar points. I've done a couple of those, but yeah, I just it's just pretty soul destroying at this point. The idea would be to transfer those to Avios, but it's probably not worth the hassle because of the difference in the pricing, so or the value, I should say, of the Avios points. So yeah, unfortunately, the Avios Thoughts has dried up, but it doesn't matter so much because there are some other big hitters on the way. As we were talking about Nectar, one of the offers was 25% boost on transferring your Nectar points into Avios points. So I had a few thousand Nectar points, probably not enough because what I'd already done previously is I'd transfer a big chunk of it. I wasn't aware that they do various incentives like 25%. So what I'm going to do now is just keep saving my Nectar points until a nice offer comes to boost it. But yeah, I think that was worked about 2,000, which on top of the 5,000 the previous month. Yeah, so I kind of got 7,000 Avios through Nectar conversions. But we now need to talk about the real big hitters. This is going to blow your socks off, figuratively speaking. It's not really. I'm just hamming it up. We have been on a couple of holidays, and these holidays have been major boons to the Avios balance. Let's start with Dubai. We flew premium economy there and back, plus the hotel bonus Avios meant that between us, my other half and I, we got 24,795 Avios for those flights and that holiday. In addition, the holiday took us to our 5,500 tier points total, which meant we got a nice little bonus Avios of 2,500. So that was obviously 5,000 on top of that. The second holiday was to Atlanta, Georgia. Now, this was not only was this the legacy double tier points offer, BA, completely forgot about this. BA actually emailed me say, hey, if you book a holiday to the States, we'll double your Avios points. Completely forgot about it until I got back. So that was premium economy there. And hey, I took the plunge and went first class on the way back. So that was a nice little boost. which also took us to over the 11,000 tier points total and added another 4,000 Avios each, so 8,000 in total. I also remain deeply concerned with my ability to flit away money, as I'm nearly at the 15,000 companion voucher total on the Amex credit card. But I've held back. So what I did was I referred my other half, who got accepted. She got accepted, and they gave her a ridiculously large credit limit. 20 grand. Who needs 20 grand? Anyway, so Amex and Avios did have a little additional offer. So rather than the 9,000 points you usually get for referring someone, it was 12,000 points. So I can add another 12,000 points to the total. Now, I've been bombarding you with lots of statistics, so let's not just eke this out any longer. Let's cut to the chase. How many Avios points have I amassed over the last 4 months? Obligatory drum roll, please. I started this Avios journey with 618,231 Avios points. In the last 4 months, I have racked up 231,474 Avios points, bringing my total as of the 8th of June to 849,705 Avios points. Booyah shaka, as people would say in maybe the 90s. What a lovely, healthy balance to play with. And I'm this close to getting the companion voucher, which I should hopefully do if I delay tipping over the 15 grand to maybe after the summer. I will then book my summer holiday, hopefully using the companion voucher and a nice hoard of Avios points. I can't actually do it at the moment because I'm fully booked up until at least Easter next year, but we shall see. So there we go. These are good times, are very good times, all very exciting, and the numbers just keep rocketing. So all good in the neighborhood. If you like me and some of the stuff I'm doing, please do obviously like and subscribe and join me on my Avios Odyssey. Until the next time, I'll see ya.